All right, everybody. Welcome to the pilot stream for my new channel, Men Like Us. I am Chris. I am the host of all this stuff, I guess. It's my channel, it's my stuff. Um, so this is, this the very first one's a test for us. We will, for this one, this episode here, this is for all the guys out there who are new into the world of trans attraction, transamory, who are curious, who are looking for answers. Me and the men that I will have on, we're really here to kind of break things down for everybody else and, kind of provide some answers and some insight for you guys, because there's not that many answers for a lot of the brothers out there who are, just starting and looking for answers and trying to talk with us and commune with other men. So, I will bring in the brothers right now. We got my man's Jonathan Hayden. What's going on, boy?
How you doing, my man? How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, man. That's the homie right there. He is the co-founder of the Facebook group. I can tell him about the group.
Yeah, you can talk about the group.
Okay. Yeah. Co-founder of the. Yeah, I am. Co-founder of the group called the Trans Supportive Brotherhood. It's a great group. If any of you guys out there are watching this right now, I highly recommend you join and get to learning and growing in your trans attraction and your understanding of everything around that. So the next person I'm bringing on is my man Chris. He is an app developer, and we're going to talk about his app a little bit later. We're going to get to that, but for now, this is just the homie Chris from.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Chris? Jonathan?
How you doing, brother?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. I'm alive and breathing. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. The sound is gone.
Jonathan, can you hear him?
I can hear you now, and I can hear Chris as well.
All right. Damn it. Okay, so shoots. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. My whole setup is just a mess right now. The Alienware laptop and shit. I gotta return it. But anywho, Chris, can you hear me? You got me? Everybody got me?
Yeah, I got you. Good.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, gotcha.
So the last homie I'm bringing on right now is the homie Lex. Good friend of mine. Definitely a kindred spirit, and I love, conversing with him every time I get a chance to. So bringing my man's in. What's going on, Lex?
Yo! I wish I knew this was going on. I gotta dip out in a little bit, but I want to be here as long as I can.
All right. Well, we got him for as long as we got him. Everybody.
It's sandwich time. It's sandwich time.
Yeah, I got some pepper steak.
Okay.
Now, ladies that are watching this, don't leave as soon as Lex leave. Okay, y'all need to hear all the rest of us too.
They probably left because I came.
Oh man, yeah, so I just I like giving my man Lex some trouble every once in a while, but he's definitely good people's all around through and through. So
appreciate you.
Yeah. So guys, like I said before in the intro, this is Transamory 101. We are going right back to the beginning. For anybody, this video is for all the homies out there who got questions, who don't understand a lot of things. So right off the top, we got to answer, what is transamory? What's transamorous? What's transamory? That's just really any guy out there who's attracted to trans women. These are you. If you are a man who wants to date a trans woman, have a relationship with a romantic relationship with a trans woman, you are transamorous. Point blank. Obviously, there are lots of other titles and everything else out there that people might want to give, but at the basic core level, that's what it is. But anybody else got any thoughts on what transamory is? I think my man Jonathan got something.
I do. I think that's the basic root of what you could say what transamory is. I mean, looking at the root word, I'm going into my English skills now. Going to the root of amorous is love. And what is true love? When we say we have love, we have trans love. So looking at that word Amory, It's more than just the attraction, the physical attraction, the chemistry. It's the understanding, the awareness, the unconditional support for people who have been marginalized, for people who are being attacked. It's more than just that, than just the it encompasses not just more than the eros and the amorous, but the agape, the friendship aspect of it as well, of what true amory is, the true love. Having that for that, and understanding and recognizing and respecting that, and that your transamory doesn't always have to lie within the physical attraction. Your transamory can be as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Your transamory can be as a friend, as a brother, as a, that's what that love is, as an uncle, as a father. You know what I'm saying? As all the different things that we talk about in our group that we are. Our transamory goes beyond just that physical. And I think, and that's what's most important when we say transamorous to me.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. That's some reverb. But yeah, I think that's exactly right. Pretty much, Jonathan, obviously, hit the nail on the head. This is one-on-one stuff, so any one of us could probably come with a very well-versed answer. But yeah, I would say exactly that. The difference between the attraction, just the attraction, it kind of seems like a sexual kind of thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it might almost be like a lust kind of thing. And the thing is, a lot of people, and we've talked about this as well, Chris. Actually, we've all talked about this in the group where a lot of guys can come into their understanding of their attraction through the lens of sex. So there's nothing wrong with like being attracted specifically, but I would say the difference between the amory would be the love part, the actual
Mm-hmm.
aspect of romance, and in the exact same way that Jonathan said, diving back into etymology, diving back into, the makeup of the word, like amor meaning love. So I really like to use that word. But I like the word that we use for the group as well, trans-supportive. Like I really enjoy how that encompasses that friendship and that allyship and that accomplishship and all of those ships. So yeah, man.
Which is exactly, Oh, sorry, my bad, Chris. I'm only my first podcast, so go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, I just wanted to say though, like to piggyback on what all of y'all said, it's a lot about friendship and support as well. Like it's cool, like you can have sex with a trans girl and do that all day, but when people are like talking bad about them, or if it's like your homeboy who don't even know like you like trans girls, will you stand up for them and be like, hey man, like these are people too. Like, can you understand a trans woman as a person instead of just like a sexual object? And I think that's the true definition of being like a supporter, ally, amorous, or whatever words you choose to call it.
Absolutely. Advocacy and allyship is a huge part of this life, guys. If you are looking to get into it, you're going to have to step up. You're going to have to be there for the women. You're going to have to, kind of be their shield and their support when the outside world wants to say all sorts of wild shit about them. And, when you get the turfs out there in your family talking about, well, they ain't really women and this and that, you gotta speak up against that shit,
And you know where it starts? You know
Yes,
where it
sir.
starts? It starts if you can't, because you can't fight every battle.
Yeah.
But you can start with yourself and the ways that you act by learning for brothers, learning first off, learning more, becoming friends. Becoming friends first, taking a chance to say, hey, what's your name? Learning more about not just what you like sexually, but asking questions that go beyond what are your interests, going outside of the world and saying and recognizing that trans women are just like every other woman that you meet. They have other interests. They're made up of more than just being trans. They're made up of their interests, their likes, their spiritual beliefs, their passions. And that's how you really show support through what you can do individually as you interact. Because we all can't sit and go and fight all the time, put the fist up and go fight and march and all that. But for example, when I'm out, if you're out with your friends, stand up for your friends. If you hear something or you see something or you see somebody out there and they're talking about you hear something, you can just jump in, or you don't got to always, and you don't got to shame people in it. You just got to jump in and say, hey man, come on, man. This is, let's think about it some other way. It's the littlest things that could go the furthest. Because it's not our place to get on their platform. It's not our place to stand up there, and when they're speaking and stuff, we do need to be silent because they're speaking. But we could do the little things around. We could do the cleanup. Hey, man, that's wrong. And that's just basically for anybody.
Yeah,
The same
absolutely.
values that we want to protect for trans women, we would want for ourselves. We want nobody to belittle us, and we want somebody to jump in to do the same, or it be our sisters, or it be anybody, any woman that is out and about, or anybody of our friends who is in a place where they could be othered. It's somewhere. That's how you do and reckon and keeping that consistent. You know.
Absolutely. And you touched on something that we're not going to spend too much time on this because that this topic is a whole other show,
Mm-hmm.
whole other episode. But you were talking about it's not just about the physical, it's not just about sexuality and all that stuff. You have to, learn and get to know women for who they really are on the inside. You can't. It's not all about what's on the outside here, and that kind of alludes into that chaser behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to go on and on about chasers. Just know, fellas out there, there's a difference between and the girls know it. The girls know it's the difference between the chasers out there that only want them for their bodies, that see them as sex objects, that are really low level in their understanding of trans women as human beings. You don't want to be those guys because the girls are able to read you and see that in you. So you really have to be willing to learn about them, learn about their community, and also, get to and network and get to know lots of different other women as well, and just make friends. Like it's just the guys that are, really the chasers are the ones that don't try to connect on a human level with a lot of the women. They really are looking and they're lusting, and it is. I mean, I don't know. Look, just from my point of view, like a lot of something like, that's just gross. And I can't even associate with that level of person right now. I can't have some porn hound, sex crazed monster that can't even hold real conversations, with me. Because, if you get on a lot of those chat boards out there, some of the guys, all they want to do is talk about porn. All they want to, it's like, no, man, like later for all that shit. I'm not here for that. And that's not why I jumped into all of this. And it's really, fellas, you really have to, this whole thing is about leveling up and upgrading yourself to a, actual human being that has understanding and has the language down and, and being somebody who, is a great supporter and ally of the community. Yes, sir.
First, number one thing I think of transamory. Number one, when you look at transamory, I think transamory starts with yourself and becoming comfortable with yourself and becoming aware with yourself, being able to stand with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can exactly, because if you're not comfortable in who you are, you're not truly transamorous. Because how can you truly love someone if you can't love yourself? If you can't love who you are and love that aspect about them, if you are somewhat ashamed of that aspect about you, that's directly reflective of the person that you claim to like or to be able to love. So if you it starts, number one rule of transamory and transamory, any of that is one-on-one. It starts with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get to, huh?
I said that's the number one rule in life.
Thank you. Thank you. Which
go.
goes back to goes to the number one tool of transamory 101. Everything we talk about is normal because it's no different. It applies to for any woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just not to trans women. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole point.
Is that it's normal. It's so normal. It's every day and no different. You could just interchange little felt people. And put them and put them on a little felt board. Interchange, and the equation is still the same. You know what I'm saying?
I've been here. I've been here. I've been listening. Sorry, guys. I wish I would have known that this was going on, man. Really don't. I'm sure it's going to be happening again.
Yes, sir.
These are some good brothers right here. Anybody who is watching, definitely stay tuned. But yeah, I got to get out of here. Love y'all.
Sounds good, brother.
Let's do it another time.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Don't forget Saturday on the Zoom.
Oh yeah. I gotta get back in it. I've been all over the place the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, then. All right. Talk to you later. All right.
Yeah. So, what you were talking about working on yourself, and it all starts with yourself and accepting yourself. That kind of leads into the next big question that a lot of guys out there have, and that is: does being transamorous does being attracted to trans women make me gay? That's a huge question for a lot of folks out there.
Got a perfect and my response as to what I posted up into the Brotherhood is, do you feel gay? That's all I can say. That's all I can try again. What I say in the Brotherhood. You can take the horse to water, put that motherfucker's head in the water, let the bubbles get all up in him and stuff, and he still can't drink. I can say all the things that you want, but all I'm gonna ask at the end of the day, do you feel gay? And if you answer that question yes, then your question has been fulfilled. Then accept it and accept that if that's the case and you like it, because guess what? It ain't going nowhere. So if you feel that way, and that's what it is. But if you don't feel that way, hey, then guess what? Because I don't.
And either
I don't. I never once have I felt that way. Never once, except for in the early parts when I questioned myself. But as I got early and I came to realize, no, I didn't feel myself as gay. I was still trying to come in that becoming comfortable myself because I know people don't understand that themselves. But that's the next part when you get into feeling yourself, when you don't care what other people think. You know what your label is because nobody can tell you what your label is but you. You could have 5 billion motherfuckers call you gay, but if you yourself say that you're not, well, that's like just coming to take the big hammer and smash it all over down and making big grape juice, smash the grape and just say, fuck it. No. Put your hand on the table and say, no. I'm telling you, no, that's all it is. That's it. So if you feel it and if you feel gay, then maybe that's something you need to look at and you need to question, you need to ponder. And again, maybe get some help to go find out about it. But I know that when I'm looking at so-and-so in this, I don't feel gay. I don't feel gay at all. I feel other things, but it sure ain't feeling gay. Okay. And ain't nothing wrong with that either. And it's but it's how you classify yourself, whatever you want. If you put yourself in whatever bubble that people put for yourself, then that's fine too. But be comfortable with it and accept it.
Yeah. And that's a huge part of it. You know, a lot guys watching this right now, you know, because you've started to accept your attraction and it just starting to really learn yourself. I mean, nothing about you changes. Like nothing. You're still the same person inside and out. You know that. You know, you're still the same dude today you was yesterday.
If you were an asshole before, and you like trans women, you gonna still be the same asshole after. That ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change. Nothing else changed. Like yeah, you ain't pay your bills then. You ain't getting that like shit gonna change shit. Nah, you still the same person.
You know, this also kind of leads into something else where, you know, we're talking about accepting yourself. And then, you know, what's the next? The next step after that is really starting to, you know, the next step for a lot of people is making others in your life aware of your attraction. Now, there's nothing that says you have to. I'm not saying you got to scream from the rooftop saying I love trans women, and the ladies will love it. They will love you for it if you did that. But nobody's saying you have to. But, you know, obviously we don't want a situation where you're dating a trans woman and nobody in your life knows and you're not trying to date her in public. That's some DL chaser bullshit that we do not recommend at all. We don't fuck with it. We don't recommend it. So, you know, really a lot of it is, you know, talking to your friends. And I mean, by raise a hand, have any of us had any negative experiences with our closest friends learning about who we like and who we love?
Well, no, that goes back. I haven't. Not really, no. I mean, but here's the thing. And this comes. All of this I say, I'm taking off my hat to get myself serious for a second. I've had my hat on all day. All of this I say with this, and when you still have to be comfortable in yourself when you have these conversations. You see, again, the fear is something that's in us.
Yes.
The fear of what people think, the fear of what people are going to do is all in us. And we assume that because you hear so many about the negative things, that's what's going to happen to you. But part of your understanding is recognizing knowing your place and your value in your life and in your family's life, and understanding and recognize that they love you. Those family that love you will come around. Those that don't, then you have to move on from them. I say that from experience because I moved on from a lot of family members, and not just because of support for this, but because of other things. You can't keep the people in your life who aren't supportive of what you're trying to do. But you also have to be honest when the time has come for those people if you value them in your life. And I've learned that that's a collateral damage. I've been talking about, Chris, before about as we grow, when we don't share, we realize we've hurt people. We take away we take a lot of people's choice away. The choice to learn more, or to accept that, or not to accept that, or to take a chance to broaden themselves. We've taken that choice away because we already put them and said, we see you as this. We don't think you're better than this. We think you're not going to be supportive of. So we put them in a box to our friends. From my example, my friends are very supportive. My brothers are very supportive, and they've really got a chance to know my wife and see my wife. And I really have my family. They love my wife. They're supportive of my wife, and they're supportive of what she does and everything like it, because they got to see her through her character. Yeah. I think that's very important to understand that when you have these conversations, you have to be ready to have the conversations. You can't force it on people, but you yourself have to be ready to deal with that. But you also can't just say, I'm going to tell everybody. You can't tell people in a mass group. You have to do it ways. Everybody deserves a chance to be a one-on-one if they're the people you value in your life. Absolutely. And in some situations, it may not be a topic at all where you just don't talk about it at all. And that's fine. And as long as they know to respect what's going on, we can keep it just like that too. And there are people that do that. I say, I'm gonna respect you, and I'm gonna respect because I love you. I'm gonna respect her. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. Keep it at that, and we can keep it like that. But don't try to get up in there and talk about anything else. Or no, just keep it at that. And then when you're ready, you can come aboard. When you're ready.
Now, Chris, I want to give you a chance to chime in on this.
I can run my mouth. My bad.
Oh no, it's all good. I just want to get everybody in on this. So talk about your experience. Have you had any negative reactions in telling any of your friends or loved ones, or expelling the fear?
Yeah, I think at first I was very, as I see most people are, nervous to let people know, like, hey, I'm attracted to trans women. But I started with my closest friends, who I would consider brothers, and I basically worked my circle out from there. Besides like close family, like your parents or whatever. But I think if people are truly your friends, they're going to accept you for who you are. And you can't. I think another thing people worry about, especially with close friends, is will they think I'm gay? You know what I'm saying? And not want to chill with me or something. Honestly, those are questions that I had. And that's another reason I started with my super close brothers. But you just have to realize and educate people, because a lot of people are just, this is a bad, ignorant of the situation. They're just ignorant of trans women. All they know is stereotypes and stuff. So by actually talking to them and like how y'all said, sometimes you just have to put a seed in someone's brain. And just and you have to realize, because you come out to someone and tell them your feelings about trans women and stuff, doesn't mean they at that moment have to accept it. You have to allow people, just like you had to grow into yourself. Some people may have to take that time to grow into that. But just putting that bug in there and being like, hey, this is what I am. I consider this normal. It is normal. And if you want to know more about it, I'm here to tell you, but this is who I am and you can accept me. It just goes, it goes far and it educates people. But you just got to be strong in yourself. Just pretty much.
That's right. I feel that, man. I do feel that. And you know what? The only time I had a negative reaction, negative reaction from somebody who was close to me. And I talked about it on another show that I do. But fuck it. She's going to be talking about this. So it was my sister. And it was actually my sister that I'm the closest to. We talked. And I let her know, and she was just like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing? Like, what the?" And I'm just like, "Look, this is just what it is. Like, you're gonna have to get on board with this." And we talked it out a little bit, but the conversation wasn't left in a place where there were good feelings all around. And she hit me back, a good like 2 weeks later, and she really thought it through. She had really taken stock, and I guess the thing that really hit for her is trans women are women and they're people just like everybody else. In my sister's mind, everybody deserves happiness. And if everybody deserves happiness, then these women deserve happiness. And if me or another man or whoever, if there's somebody out there who can make these people happy, then so be it. And my sister's been a real big support for me ever since then. But all of my friends, nothing but respect. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I only got like real true blue friends, like my inner circle. There's only about 4 or 5 of them niggas.
Yeah.
Everybody else is acquaintances and people I know, people I'm kind of cool with. I might go party with them once in a while, but like they're not really in that inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like the motherfuckers that know my mom, my sisters, my cousins.
Exactly.
People that's like family. Yeah.
People who've been around and who know what's going on. Like, for example, my cousin was in the Brotherhood. Got him in the Brotherhood. My friend that's living with me, we go back since college. He's learning. He's learned so much more from my wife in terms of about what it's like to be trans, to learn about the community, to learn changing his views and changing what he's learned and rewired his train of thinking, because we've been all indoctrinated to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, and things like that. So it's important that we continue this, you know what I'm saying? Like this, to be this way, people can learn and see,
Absolutely. So go ahead, Chris.
I feel anytime like society in general usually has like certain norms, and anytime you're doing something that doesn't fit into their norms, you just have to be mentally strong yourself and like securing yourself. And I mean, I guess that speaks to like, I guess all this in general. It's just, yeah, I guess I lost that, but yeah, sorry.
It's all good, because I was in a thought too, and I lost my thought too, thinking about what other stuff. So
well,
and the fact I had a little something earlier. So
my man live in a legalized state up there. He good, good. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, I liken this to back in the day. People felt the same way about, let's say, interracial marriage or something like that. Like things that go against what most people were brought up against. I mean, brought to like believe their whole life. And we just have to be like, you don't have to shout this shit out from and like go on your Instagram and be like, I love trans women. Like I said, start with your circle, people that you're cool with, and like close family, and like work your way out. But as with other things in your personal life, you don't have to let like everyone know everything.
Exactly. It's not meant for everybody to know.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's not meant for everybody to know. And really, which is not everybody's business.
No.
That's it, yeah.
And we live in a society where we have to be transparent. We tell everything we want to do. Hell, we tell the world when we're going to the bathroom, or we tell, what I'm saying, we put everything out there. But it's not meant for everybody, to know. It's not meant for everybody, and it's not hiding it. It's just like, hey, we're not close like that. I'm not bringing you into my circle. You don't need to know all of that. This is my wife. This is my girlfriend. You don't need. That's all. That's what you need to know, and that's who she is. Right. So therefore, and that goes into also, I think when you have those conversations with your friends, depends on where you are. When you decide you want to bring somebody serious into your life, that's when you introduce it to your friends. Even outside of just the transes, even back in when I was there, you don't bring nobody around, just anybody around the homies. You know what I'm saying? You didn't bring the girl you just wanted to go kick it with for just a little bit around the homies. You didn't bring her home. You brought the one that you really wanted to build with, and you want to do something with, that you have signed serious, or that you have love for, or whatever, your phone, whatever that may be. That's who you bring home, and that's when you have them conversations and you bring them around and say, "Hey, let's come meet. This is my friend. This is my mother. This is my father. These are my homies." You know, things like that. If you don't do that, they don't need to know them people. What's the point?
Facts.
What's the point? And that's simple. That's simple stuff, and that's not hiding anything. That's just what it is. The people who need to know should know. Those who don't know and don't need to know, and they're just fine for it.
No, that's for sure, man. And I mean, that shit don't change, when you switch over from dating cis women to trans women, like who you let inside your business is who you let inside your business, man.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
if
real
those,
talk.
but if you intend to really do something, if those people mean something to you,
Mhm.
you have those conversations at some point if they really mean, because it might be something important later on that they would need to know. You
Mhm.
know, even medical wise, something happens with things like that, to know and be supportive and not to be taken aback. Because I think one of the things I've learned, that when you talk to people and you have these conversations, especially with men, and because we're all black men, I'm gonna say black men specifically.
Uh-huh.
Majority of us are very insensitive, and we have a little self-esteem issues. As much as we like to, our misogyny is our toxic masculinity and misogyny is our low self-esteem coming out in the things that we do.
Mhm.
And for brothers, in many ways, you gotta speak softly and carry that big stick if you want to get them with them. You know what I'm saying? And brothers, you can't come at a brother. You can't put brothers in the room and give them information like this and think that you're gonna get anything positive from it. Because all them brothers gonna try to be one up. That insecurity's gonna come in.
Yeah.
And so they're not gonna be able to handle. Or somebody's gonna want to crack a joke, or somebody's gonna do all that because nobody wants to show how insecure they really are with it.
Facts.
Or they don't want to be seen as gay if they think it's cool, or if they accept it to be like, yeah, brother, I love you anyway.
Mhm.
But if you have that individual conversation with those friends, or if they find out, let them come to you. Because in this situation, some of my boys, as they came to me when it was time. Because when they were happy that I met somebody and they saw her profile, they saw Remy's profile, and they said that she was transgender. And they didn't know at the time. But they knew we were, she's become my girlfriend, and they want to, they're interested because they want to know the person that's in their friend's life, and to get to know them. And I was glad, and they came to me and had a conversation, and we sat there and they let them know they got my back. They love me, you know what I'm saying? They love me regardless. We had that conversation, but they came to me. You know what I'm saying? When I was going to have that conversation with them, but it would have been on an individual basis.
Yeah.
Because that's how you have that, and that's how you give that, and you show that connection. It's more than just a group connection. It's an individual connection, and how much that you mean to them, that they mean to you. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really just takes it into like, I guess just I really want to wrap it up for the guys because this is for the fellas out there. It's for the fellas with questions, with a lot of questions about themselves and lack of understanding and all that stuff, and they got a lot of room to grow. That fear that you're feeling inside, that fear about outside pressure, the fear of being labeled gay, a lot of that really is in your head, and a lot of the people around you will love you no matter what. And a lot of the men, for the brothers, a lot of the men around you will respect. Those are really your homies. That's your inner circle. They will respect. And I have never had any pushback from anybody. I've had questions, and I've had to have multiple conversations. But it's I'm just have to throw it out there. The first hurdle you have to tackle with a lot of folks is getting them to understand that trans women are women. Period. Like that you get, whether it's the women in your life or your bros, like they were, oh, so So you get no, that's not what it is, dude. Like I still like women, and it's such a basic thing, but the way our society is set up and with how media has portrayed trans women in media, that's the idea a lot of people get, and it reminds me of that the documentary Disclosure, where it talks about what was it, 80%? It was like 80% of Americans, or it was a large amount, most pretty much, let's just say most, which is just more than 50%. Most Americans have not met a transgender person. They don't have one in their lives as a friend, as a relative. They don't have any transgender people in their lives that help them humanize the community. So what do they go to? They go to the media. They go to the movies, Hangover 2, the gimmickiness of daytime TV. It's really kind of trash, but that's where a lot of people, that's how their brains are programmed to think about trans women. Like, is it a man or is it a woman, and all that garbageness?
It's been indoctrinated, brainwashed in the movies. It's also been indoctrinated to react negatively. When you find out, to always react, to make a loud reaction, to make a disgusting, throw up, vomit, go crazy, do all of that stuff. All of those things are acts of violence. Without the physical thing, but their acts of violence is still, because all that you're reacting in such a way that's violent acting. And violent, and you're supposed to be sharp, get all crazy and do something to push back or no, that's what they've been taught and indoctrinated. So when these men are out here and they do this and they get caught, they're doing what they've been told to do.
Yeah.
And they've been sheep, and these sheep need to get sheared and turned to be what they really are. And they ain't know that they're not goddamn sheep. You know what I'm saying? And they get caught up. And so, and you see it in the movies, you see it in the Crying Game, you see it in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, you see it in the cartoons, you see it in all that, to react negatively when there's trans.
No. Even more recently, what about that State Farm commercial? Well, yeah, she's a guy. It's like, who are you on the phone with? Somebody from talking about the insurance person. And he's just like, well, yeah, I mean, she's a guy. Like, why is this? It kind of felt to me like they were playing on that just a little bit, playing on like, oh, it's a surprise, it's a guy, and the wife was really getting bent out of shape. But it was just like, I don't know.
It was Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, the Jake from.
Well,
State
that one,
Farm.
no, I understand. I understand that.
I was like, I don't know.
No, I understand that one. That would Aki, because I see what they're trying to say, because she assumed he was talking to a woman on the phone.
Of
now,
course,
trans or not, period or not, you could tell that what I can't see. I think it's more when you see the clips in movies and the things like that, or you see like Family Guy, the Family Guy episodes and things like that, where you see a negative reaction when men find out.
You know what else was recent was and this was a horrible portrayal of a trans woman, I believe, is Sons of Anarchy. It's an FX show, very recent. They had this character on there named Venus, and it was obviously a male actor, like with makeup thrown on him. And it was kind of just like, it was a cross-dressing thing, and it was just really, but that was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna get this trans whore over here, this prostitute, she's gonna come in and do all sorts of crazy things and make this guy feel like he's gay. And now he has to tell us, or else we're going to tell the world that he's gay. And it was just like, we could have done without that storyline.
Yeah.
And that was a recent show. Like Sons of Anarchy one, that was only like 2-3 years ago, man. But like, we don't even got to go back to the 90s to see horrible portrayals and how, we propagate the sick thoughts about trans people in general. But, I would say guys that are watching this, that fear is mostly in your head, and the people you think that are going to react negatively to you are probably not going to have that kind of reaction that you're dreaming about. Your life will go on, the world still turns, and there is no. I really, I guess we're all here and we're putting our faces out there to show that we are regular guys and we're not afraid. And I'm hoping this brings some guys over to the point, or gets a lot of young guys out there to the point where they don't, react angrily to a trans woman. Like, obviously our goal is to help guys that look like us. It helps out guys that look like us from killing trans women. And we're trying to bring understanding. And I really want this to be blasted out to the masses. Brother John, you're muted, bro. Let me unmute you real quick. I got you. Oh, no. Can't unmute you because you muted yourself.
All right.
There you go. All right.
The reality of it is right now, we have had a lot of black trans women being killed by black men. Mm-hmm. Black and brown men. And we've got to, that's because we've got to recondition. I don't know what it's a reconditioning of a lot of these brothers who are living in their fear. This goes back to what I said.
Bro, it's the whole community got to be reconditioned, because and people listening to this, don't at me. I don't want to hear your shit. But I would say, and I really don't want to come off as a woman hater or anything, but look, our community is full of single mother households. Fact. All right, fact. And a lot of these women are pushing that hyper masculinity onto these boys, and pushing a hate for femininity onto these boys, and pushing an anti-gay. Now, obviously, it isn't just from there, but a lot of shit starts at home. And then when everything else outside of the house reaffirms what you learned inside the house, then you're really locked in. And that's how we got all these, oh man, I ain't fucking with all that. And, getting violent and angry about the shit. And, that's how you got old boy on the Shy standing proud to quit the show, because they had they put a trans romance in the show. That's how you get a Boosie Badass out there proud to stand tall on his ignorance, because the community is still pushing him. They supporting him on his bullshit. So while it's us, it's the community as a whole. We all know what happened with BET, where they got rid of an ad with it was a trans advocacy ad with McDonald's, supposed to air during the BET Awards. BET cut it. They didn't want the backlash from the community at large, and it's a whole lot of bullshit. But I'm sorry to hijack it from you, bro.
You're talking the right stuff, man. There's a lot of good stuff to what you're saying.
And I hate calling us out, because I don't want to be like that old, how niggas was reacting to Bill Cosby, 20 years ago, where, I don't want to be one of those people speaking down to my community or nothing like that. But, it's, we got to get past our denial, and we got to recognize before we can make any moves. And people got to we have to see our community for what it is. And I'm just talking about the black community.
I say that, but all that ignorance and stuff doesn't excuse the violence and the killing.
Absolutely not.
And that's the thing. And that's where, these women are, some of these women are being killed. They're horribly executed style, the way they've been killed. That's something deeper. That's rage. That's self-hate. That's something bigger. And you can't excuse, and it's reasons to understand, but there's no excuse for it. No excuse. And that's and that's hard for me. It's very difficult. I understand we have a lot of issues and problems, but dang, come on now. There are ways that they're out there, because some of these youth and with some of these men have more access to things that we didn't have. You can get access to help. You can get access to internet. You can unlearn some things if you so want. They unlearn other things. So why can't they unlearn this? They can unlearn what some of the history taught in the schools. They can unlearn, change their mind to get all this information. So why can't they do it for this? Why the violence? Why the anger so much?
I got no answers, man.
And I guess that goes back into these brothers who feel that people think that they're gay. I'm like, if you feel that you're gay, then that's an issue in and of itself. But if you don't feel that you're gay, stand strong and say, you know what I like, and I'm happy.
And I think it's about, at least, and we just turn this into just a black conversation right now. I think a lot of it has to do with having that label put on you. Because once that label is put on you, if you look at our community, who are the men that we look up to? Who are the men that we tell our boys aspire to be? None of them are gay. Not a one. None of the icons or anything. Now they may turn out to be gay after the fact. You know, Teddy P. Everybody loved Teddy P, but they found that out after the fact. If they knew that right in the moment, I don't know how people would have reacted. But you know,
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot more than people understand and realize.
Yeah.
You know, Luther. You know, a lot of these people are singing. Yeah. You know, you've got attractions things going on, but people have they've had to wear a mask. They've had to hide. You know, we wear the mask. Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Y'all go check it out. We wear the mask. It fits so well. And for many of us, and what we do and what we try to hide and what we do to try to survive, because most of us aren't living, we're surviving. And there's a difference.
Yeah. And you're right about that, man. You're right about that. I guess when I started to acknowledge my attraction and try to live it as fully as possible and, you know, commune with other people and just be open about it, you know, it felt, I mean, I'm just saying life is a lot better this way. You know, I'm a lot happier and I'm not worried about, you know, what people are going to see and all that stuff and what people are going to think. And, you know, all that shit is, because life is short. You got to live happy.
Yeah.
But, you know, you talk about people wearing masks and stuff. You can talk to a lot of these girls out here and you will learn real quick that there are celebrities, athletes, actors, athletes, people you would never guess who are out there dating trans women on the side, but they can't deal. They don't feel like they can live in that out in the open.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's out there. Like, you're listening to this, you are not.
Your voice left. Can't hear you.
Nah, he's still muted.
There you go.
Sorry, my phone setup is a little cherry wrecked here.
Yeah.
But you know, I would say it was a huge moment. Even and I know some of the ladies didn't like it too much, but I still say it was a huge moment when Malik Yoba got on Breakfast Club and had a conversation with Black America about this. You know, obviously not everybody liked his language and how he came across on it, but it brought it to the forefront and it made it a thing. And you know that, and I guess I'm old, but you know, I grew up watching Malik Yoba every Thursday on Fox, New York Undercover, like the man. Why Did I Get Married? I watch him on Alphas, watch him on lots of other stuff, and it's just like having big names like that, you know, and just seeing other guys, especially Black men out there, come stepping forward, stepping into the light, really gave me a lot of reassurance in what I was doing, because that happened shortly after I started the podcast. And, you know, at that point, I knew no other Black men, you know, who were trying to get, trying to show up for the ladies out there, show up for the community and be an example. So, you know, even just seeing him out there was great. And the time will come and people, you know, the masks will fall off over time. But, you know, I have to be honest, we are very long on time, guys, and I appreciate y'all for hanging out for so long. I feel like Jonathan's about to go off to snooze town here. He's about to
I ain't gonna lie.
Smoke that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. I had the indicas kicking in.
Oh, I love that shit, man.
Sativa for the podcast, man.
You said what now?
I fucks with that.
Sativa for the podcast.
You know what? I would like that, but you know what? I find both of those could do that for me at the end of the day. When it hits, it hits. When the train to Nappy Town comes, I get on board. And I am on board some days, and there's some food coming soon too. So once that happens,
it's a wrap.
I have a quick question. I'd like to learn more about your app, Chris. About
tell us
I'm
about
Charlie.
Yes.
Well, thanks for asking. I'll keep it short. Basically, a lot of guys don't know, like you mentioned earlier, people don't know a trans person in their life. A lot of guys don't know trans people, like real trans girls. They may only know like the porn stars and the Instagram models who take like the bikini pictures. So I built an Instagram page to kind of show people like, hey, trans women, they're like regular women. They wear, not all of them are in bikinis, not all of them are like top models. And from that, I did build an app. It's called I'm Charlie. We're in the App Store and Google Play. No fake profiles. It's not, just to be honest, a bunch of prostitutes and hookers. These are like real women. They have jobs, go to sleep, do normal stuff. And yeah, so I just built an app like that. And I will say, a lot of people ask me this. I want you to download the app, but gotta keep it respectful. Trans women are people. So your profile picture, just to be honest, guys, shouldn't be like the dick. Like, put your face out there, be a person. Don't be afraid to like put yourself out there and have like a normal conversation. Like, that's the important thing about the app. It's not just to find people to have sex with. It's communicating and actually getting to know a trans person. And maybe that leads to great things, maybe not. But I wanted to build a place where real people can like have conversations, and I think that's important. And it's Black owned, and not enough Black people are in technology and STEM stuff. So that too.
True that, bro. Everybody, you heard it here. Go check it out. The I'm Charlie app. I'm already on it. I downloaded it. I got it on my phone over here. So I'm ready to go. Oh, Jonathan, you muted, bro. Jonathan, you muted yourself. There you go.
Myself and my dog started barking. But I was saying I'm gonna have to check it out. I can't personally download it. I'm a married man, so it's not like I'm off the market, so ain't no more for me. But I think that's something to promote, man. And come, especially if it's done in a respectful way and done that way. I think that's cool,
We're trying to make sure, like, again, I can take like 10 seconds to address this. Like, it is a dating app, but respect. Like, a lot of people say, how do I approach a trans woman? How would you approach a regular woman? Why don't we want to, how would you approach a cisgender woman on the street? That's the same way you would approach a trans woman, because they are women. It's one and the same. So it's not like, how do I approach a trans woman? And just carry that attitude that you would want someone to show your sister, aunt, whatever. And yeah, but I built it and I hope y'all enjoy it.
All right.
Check it out. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got for today. And I got no more. Well, you know what? This was a learning right here, y'all. We don't have I'm going to have way more prepared for us to talk about next time. I thought I had plenty this time, but we kind of ran short on that, but we're going to produce it up a little bit more. But I'm still thankful that my brothers showed up for me. Appreciate your time, Jonathan and Chris. Thank you so much for stopping by. And that was the pilot episode.
Can I jump in real fast?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I just want to thank you for being on here, and for brothers who are interested, follow us on Facebook. We are the Trans Supportive Brotherhood. Come check us out and come join us if you're interested. You can find me on Facebook under Jonathan Hayden. Look me up, see the pretty face, and send me a message. I can tell you more if you want me to tell you more. If you're interested, or if you want to learn more about the group, or learn more about how I came to where I am in my journey. Because we are all on somewhat of our own journey in this. And so, I would love to talk, love to be a part, love to connect. So, and brother Chris, come check us out, man. Please come check us out. Yeah.
I'm going to start leaving here. And I want to say to Chris, good job doing what you're doing again, like putting yourself out there, the podcast, and Black on. Like, I'm sorry if it's no offense to like anyone else who's on here, but good thing, man. Like, more people need to be in our community, putting themselves out there in general like this.
Amen.
That's right.
The more faces we get out there, the more that we show people who we are, the more confidence, hopefully, that'll give to a lot of other men to live in their truth and just take that step of faith out there. So, with that, that's all I got. We're gonna catch y'all next time. We're gonna be back at this again next week. We're gonna have a rotating cast because it's gonna be different people next week, and then we're gonna have some people return. So just look out for some new faces and some new conversation points. So catch y'all later.
Peace.